In this session of Bead Embroidery Basics, we're going to take a look at the clean edge. This is a great alternative to what is typically done, which is standard or brick stitch, or it's all that same. The key to that is the beads are sitting this way. The holes you can see from the side of the edge, and you can also see the thread hanging out there. So the thread is there, and if there's wear and tear, then that's an issue, and it's also not a particularly great appearance. But what it is great for is for doing other edge finishes. It's a perfect setup, and for doing bails. The clean edge, on the other hand, the hole sits parallel to the edge of the piece. So what you're seeing is just a nice clean row of beads. This is particularly great on bracelets because you're looking down at the edge of the bracelet often, and you're seeing that edge. So if you simply are going to do a row of beads, then a clean edge is a great alternative for that. So let's look at a couple of pieces with a clean edge. So in this case, I just wanted a row, so I used a clean edge, which you can easily change colors to coordinate with your surface design, and it's a nice appearance. In a case like this, I knew I wanted to fringe here, so I did a combination. I did the standard edge here and the clean edge up here where I simply wanted a row. Just a simple framing. There are some techniques to be able to add some simple embellishment to a clean edge, but that isn't it isn't that hard to do, but it doesn't facilitate it. So in a case like this, where I want a simple row, but I'm going to be doing a lot of fringe, I'll switch over to the standard edge, and you can see the way those beads are sitting versus the way these beads are sitting. So how do we do this? So we're going to take, and we're going to use an oversized example so that we can really see what's going on. So I want you to imagine that my beads are covering this. This is my top side where all my bead embroidery is, and then I have my backing on there. So it's at the point after you've trimmed it, you put your backing, you've trimmed your backing, and you're ready for your edge. I'm going to come up from the back side, and again I'm going to stay, I want to be at least 1/8 of an inch in, and I'm going to leave a 6 to 9 inch tail. So I'm going to pick up a bead, and I want my next stitch to be about the length of the bead. So I'm going to put the bead in, and then I'm going to stitch through that thread, keeping the bead on that side of it. Pick up a bead, stitch through the backings. I can go front to back or back to front. The key is then stitch through that loop, keeping the bead on the one side. Pick up a bead, go about a bead length, go through that loop, and stay on this side of the bead, not on this side. You're staying on this side of the bead, and pull. And simply do that all the way around. And I can go back to front, front to back, it doesn't matter as long as I go through the loop and pull to adjust my tension so that the bead sits right on the edge. And then as I come over here, once I've done my final bead, I want to just go through this again from that other bead, go down and go through that loop. So you're just stitching that one twice just to keep it so that you're not seeing where the start and end was. So it's a fairly easy stitch. So because it's so easy, it I think often doesn't get its due. You can use seed beads, you can use other beads. In this case, I've used a 4mm round to create my edge. And so I not only have a simple row, I'm not seeing any bead holes, and it's just a very clean look. So clean edge is a great alternative in bead embroidery.